Welcome everyone to the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. I'm your host, Michael Pickering, and that's right, Lo-Fi, as in low fidelity, low quality, in-your-face, messy as can be global news show. Here we're going to talk about our famous question, what's going on in the world today? And to the news, fresh off that press. To Afghanistan we go, where the Taliban have announced that women cannot fly by themselves, either on domestic or international flights, and they must have a male chaperone accompanying them in order to travel by plane. And this further restricts the movement of women in the country, as previously it was declared by the Taliban that women cannot travel more than 45 miles within the country without a male chaperone. And this also comes after last week's announcement that girls in high school/secondary schools were not able to return to school yet because the Taliban was still deciding on what school uniforms to make the girls wear. And we'll keep you updated as we find out more, Lo-Fi listeners. And in El Salvador, the president of the country, with the approval of Congress, has declared a state of emergency in the country after an extremely violent weekend of violence relating to cartel and gang activities. We here at Lofi Poli Sci do not believe in reporting body counts. However, we will say that the government stated that the number of homicides on Friday and Saturday alone were almost equal to the number of homicides for the entire month of February, and that the state of emergency will affect people's right to assemble, as well as their rights when being detained and arrested by police officers. And we'll let you know more as soon as we find out. Next up, to Malta we go, where parliamentary elections are just finishing up, and it appears that the ruling Labour Party will continue their government, as they have won an absolute majority in the election. This means that Labour will not have to form any kind of coalition government. They get to keep the prime ministership, and all ministry appointments remain in their control. In parliamentary systems such as this, when one political party wins an outright majority in the parliament, this typically means that laws in the country are passed at a much faster rate, and policy is more consistent along the political spectrum because no coalition government is needed to secure the majority, and therefore no party alliances are needed. We'll be interested to see how politics in Malta progress moving forward. And in an update to a story we covered last week, the initial results of the presidential election in East Timor is in, and former President Jose Ramos Horta, who was president from 2007 to 2012, he secured 46.6% of the vote, and current President Francisco Gutierrez, secured 22.1% of the vote. Thus, the two men will have a runoff election on April 19th to try and win over 50% of the vote, as well as to become the next president of East Timor, which would be the 5th ever elected president of the country, and the 7th overall, as there had been 2 brief ad interim presidents as well. We'll update you on things as the election draws near, Lo-Fi listeners. And a last piece of news to send you on your way for the day. To Oxford, England, we go, where the City Council has announced officially and declared that the Magnus Hansen Hines house now has protected landmark status. The reason, you may ask? Because there's a 25-foot-long shark sticking out of the roof. A 25-foot-long shark sticking out of the roof. What more can we say? And that's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Always remember that Lo-Fi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, wash those hands, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Lo-Fi Poli Sci podcast. Pickering, signing off. Well then, if you ever wondered what season 1 of the show sounded like, yeah, that's about it. No music, short form, 5 days a week of 5 stories a day, and then done. It wasn't until the very end of season 1 we added this. And that really led us into season 2 for a good while, until we wanted something different, just for season 2. And we came up with this. Welcome. Don't adjust your dial. And really, that was a blending of Season 1's intro with a new intro, and it was for the first time ever I overlaid my own voice to intro music. But then, for Season 3, we wanted something a bit different from that. It truly was something completely different, not using any of the music from Season 2 or Season 1, but still giving us that kind of newsy feel. But then midway through Season 3, we hit our 1-year anniversary, and I wanted to cut something together, just for that episode. So I reached out to some of you, and this is what we did.
We are
Lofi Poli Sci. And what can I say about that, except for a true merger of the We That We Be. I still love using this track today. But then for Season 4, last season, we wanted something else completely new, so we did this.
Wake up.
And this was the first time we ever used lo-fi sound effects or horns and just an upbeaty kind of feel for the whole season that was Season 4. But then we got to the now, to Season 5, and I really wanted to give us our own unique feel and just set up to what it is that we were about to do for the new We That We Be. Yeah, it's been a weird musical journey with all of you these past 2 years. And today, I just kind of felt like sharing a bit of where we've been, to give us all some perspective on where we're going. What we do and the words we say, it's not a cliche. It's a lifestyle. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. I love you. Pickering, signing off.